minor delay forming in towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70 as you pass by Highway 79, then again toward Wentzville at Highway 61. And there's jammed up traffic at this point in toward Lake St. Louis on 64 going westbound. That is very slow from 364 around toward I-70. Otherwise, Highway 61 north is trouble-free going northbound in toward Troy around toward Highway 47. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Moderate rain in Troy, getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s, overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy it's 63. In Wentzville it's 63 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground, Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
Hi, BJ Walters here. Join us for the News Radio KYRO Sports Flash from the Old Monroe Lumber Company at CN79 in Old Monroe and online at omlumber.com on your home for the Chiefs, Blues, Mizzou, NASCAR, News Radio KYRO.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for today. Just before Hannity at 9 tonight, Kamala Harris expected to speak about her big trip to the border 39 days before Election Day. Anyway, we'll have full, complete reaction. We'll have National Border Patrol Counsel Art Del Cueto, also Joe Concha, Victor Davis Hanson, Representative Michael Waltz, and Leo Terrell, Tommy Lahren, Tudor Dixon, Jimmy Fela. All 9 Eastern tonight, Hannity, Kamala at the border. What an adventure. We'll see you tonight back here on Monday with only 36 days till Election Day. Thanks for being with us. Thank you for making this show possible.
War, inflation, and recession. Did you know that experts call gold the everything hedge? Gold goes far beyond hedging against inflation or the stock market. It can potentially even guard you against today's wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. Not to mention the great economic danger of a recession coming, which is what we're all worried about. And that's why gold just hit another record high. And central banks, they just keep buying gold at a record pace. It's Linda here. Join me and thousands of people who have called Goldco the #1 rated gold company. It's time you diversify your money with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Today, Goldco is offering our listeners up to 8 years in free IRA fees, plus up to 8% in bonus silver with a qualified account. Call 855-815-GOLD for free IRA fees, free bonus silver, and a free gold and silver info kit. What are you waiting for? Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD. Do it today. You can't wait.
Get your cup of political insight on Morning Java, Saturday mornings at 9 on East Central Missouri's News Radio KYRO. Depend on it.
When you've got a plumbing emergency in Pike, Lincoln, St. Charles, or Warren County, call Frank the Plumber. 25 years experience, licensed and insured, and emergency response available. Call 636-236-2190.
Hi, this is Frank the Plumber. For all your plumbing needs, give me a call.
Call Frank the Plumber.
636-236-2190.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a minor delay forming in towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70 as you pass by Highway 79, then again toward Wentzville at Highway 61. And there's jammed up traffic at this point in toward Lake St. Louis on 64 going westbound. That is very slow from 364 around toward I-70. Otherwise, Highway 61 north is trouble-free going northbound in toward Troy around toward Highway 47. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
Live from the Gateway Fiber Studios, online at gatewayfiber.com. News Radio 105.3 1280 KYRO Troy. It's 5 o'clock in the Heartland.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. At least 40 people are dead after Helene roared ashore as a Category 4 hurricane last night in Florida's Big Bend region. Widespread flooding inundating several southeastern states, impacting roads and emergency crews. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp.
Our priority is getting to medical emergencies and facilities like hospitals, nursing homes, and others that need critical help and don't have power.
Remnants of Helene are currently drenching Kentucky. The Israeli military claiming it struck the headquarters of Hezbollah in Lebanon. Several buildings are leveled.
Fox News learned that the target of those Israeli strikes in the Lebanese capital of Beirut was indeed Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah. It's still unclear if he was even there or killed in the strikes.
Fox's Trey Yanks. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey football fans, the season is finally here. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, former NFL player and now best-selling author and star in a new documentary film called The Retirement Deception. I want you to watch this film at no cost because I believe America needs to know the truth about retirement. Retirement doesn't have to be complicated. In football, the basics, blocking and tackling, are what wins games. In retirement, protection and income are the key to your success. You don't retire on your nest egg, you retire on the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to create more income and protect yourself from the chaos and unnecessary fees of Wall Street. Call today to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. You can also schedule a 10-minute call with one of our retirement experts. I think you'd agree 30 years of saving for retirement is probably worth a 10-minute call to make sure you're doing all you can to protect it. Call 833-359-6819. That's 833-359-6819. 833-359-6819. Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hey everybody, this is Sarge.
And this is the Burgundy.
You're on Newswatch, late edition, on News Radio KYRO.
Stay tuned. Coming up at 18 after, we'll be back with all of East Central Missouri's news of the day on Newswatch, late edition.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabit. A proposed minimum wage ballot measure and paid sick leave for all Missouri workers is on the November ballot. Missouri's 4 candidates for governor gave their take on whether Proposition A should pass, which would increase the minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2026. Republican Mike Kehoe, a former businessman, says that the government should not be setting wages. The economy should.
When we change minimum wage standards, we actually affect those that we're trying to help the most. Minimum wages will cause prices to rise on the most basic of products.
The University of Central Missouri has been recognized by several publications for being a top veteran-friendly school.
U.S. Veterans Magazine, U.S. News and World Report, and the Military Times have all ranked the university high for its efforts to reach the military population. Courtney Swoboda, the Director of Military and Veteran Services with UCM, explains why reaching the military population is a focus.
So I truly have a passion for this population.
She says the university's Military and Veteran Success Center has been open for more than 12 years.
So we process VA educational benefits, military tuition assistance.
Military-affiliated students receive in-state tuition rates.
That's Alicia Nelson reporting. For the 4th time this month, an inmate in a maximum security prison in Central Missouri has died. 60-year-old Gerald Higgins died Wednesday at a local hospital in Jefferson City. He was incarcerated at the Jefferson City Correctional Center and serving a 35-year sentence for several counts of statutory rape, statutory sodomy, and child molestation. Atrial fibrillation is a condition that causes irregular heartbeats and puts people at a significantly higher risk of death. MU Healthcare cardiologist Dr. Sandeep Gautam says the condition can cause you to feel like your heart is fluttering, tired for no reason, short of breath, and cause swelling in your feet.
It's a combination of our population getting older and also of people living longer.
This is Missouri Net.
When you care for a child with special health care needs, it helps to have support, someone who knows how to navigate the system and provide guidance. The Special Healthcare Needs Family Partnership Program can help. Family partners are parents of individuals with special healthcare needs who have navigated a journey like yours. They know all about available resources and how to sign up or get referrals for them. Visit health.mo.gov/family partnership for more information. For families, by families.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems.
Missouri Net News continues. Western Missouri Congressman Mark Alford is urging House Speaker Mike Johnson to prioritize the federal farm bill this year.
Alford and nearly 140 other U.S. House members, all Republicans, sent a letter to Johnson stating that farmers, ranchers, and other producers are living under outdated policies from the 2018 Farm Bill.
There's so much uncertainty out there. They do not have the luxury of waiting another year.
House leaders are hesitant due to the estimated cost of the latest farm bill, which for the first time exceeds $1 trillion. Contents include funding crop insurance, ag subsidies, and SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps.
A concert update due to weather. The Billy Joel and Sting concert in St. Louis's Busch Stadium has been rescheduled for Sunday as a result of the remnants of Hurricane Helene moving through parts of the state. Missouri statewide average for regular gasoline according to AAA $2.87 a gallon, down 69 cents from a year ago. This is Missouri Net.
Are you ready to get in the game with the Kansas City Chiefs radio network? You can win a VIP game day experience including tickets, parking, and a visit to the Chiefs radio booth to watch Mitch Holthus in action. All thanks to Shelter Insurance. Participating Shelter agents can register you in the drawing. So visit shelterinsurance.com/getinthegame to find out how you can sign up.
Contact Shelter Agent Jeff Dunn in Wentzville or Chris Hansel in Overland for your chance to get in the game.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks ending mixed for the day, but the Dow did climb to a fresh record close, its 32nd of the year. The tech-heavy Nasdaq slipped, and the S&P 500 edged slightly lower, but both indexes stayed close to recent record highs. Investors digested new inflation data that could give the Fed more reason to continue slashing interest rates. August personal consumption expenditures price index, that's the Fed's favored measure of inflation, increased 0.1%, matching expectations. PCE increased 2.2% on an annual basis. Both readings showed improvement and were lower than expected. However, the closely watched core index, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, rose 2.7% in August, which was slightly higher than July. The Dow up 138 points, the Nasdaq lower by 71, S&P 500 down 7. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013, 800-444-2013, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-2013.
Do your trucks, tractors, or heavy equipment need repairs? Hello, I'm Aaron Lee with Advanced Machine Repair in Moscow Mills. We work on heavy equipment, agricultural equipment, skid loaders, dump trucks, road tractors, and trailers. We offer 24-hour mobile emergency roadside service. From general maintenance to heavy-duty repairs, we have you covered. For immediate service or to schedule your next repair, just visit AdvancedMachineRepairLLC.com or check us out on Facebook.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Dan Byer.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love is officially questionable for Sunday's game against the Vikings after being limited in practice. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is off the injury report, as is his teammate tight end George Kittle. However, left tackle Trent Williams questionable to face the Patriots because of a toe injury that popped up this week. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel is questionable for San Francisco. Chargers have the Chiefs and Justin Herbert, and rookie right tackle Joe Alt are questionable to face Kansas City, while defensive end Joey Bosa and Rashawn Slater have been ruled out for the Chargers. ESPN reports that Jets holdout edge rusher Hassan Reddick wouldn't mind a trade back to the Philadelphia Eagles, who traded him to the Jets in the offseason from Philly. Speaking of the Eagles, wide receiver Devontae Smith out against the Buccaneers, while wide receiver A.J. Brown and tackle Lane Johnson are questionable. At the President's Cup, internationals win all 5 matches today. They're tied with the U.S. at 5 apiece.
It's 5:10 in East Central Missouri, and you're on the Newswatch PM edition. Traffic and weather together on the 10s. Starts right now.
East Central Missouri's News Radio KYRO. Depend on it.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a heavy delay in place as you're heading toward Lake St. Louis on westbound 64 from 364 around toward I-70. Beyond that, you're trouble-free on 61 in toward Troy. Now, keep in mind, in Troy, roadwork starts tomorrow at the 4761 bridge that's going to be demolished. And with this, Main Street in Troy will be one lane from Boone Street towards South Street. And there's going to be some resulting detours in effect from Cherry Street around toward South Lincoln. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Moderate rain in Troy, getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s, overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy it's 63. In Wentzville it's 63 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground, Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
The Moscow Mills Lions Club invites you every second Sunday of the month, 7:30 to noon. All-you-can-eat breakfast, $12 adults, kids 6 to 11, 6, and children under 6 eat free. Sunday breakfast, 30 Friese Industrial Drive in Moscow Mills.
You know, people keep talking about how much their homeowner's insurance keeps going up and how the prices are just unbearable in these high times. Well, let me tell you what I did. I got a hold of Dave and Holly over at Safe Harbor Insurance, and they were able to save me a ton of money on my home insurance. And it's not because I cut cost, it's because they're brokers. They made it happen for me and they saved me a ton of money. Check them out at Safe Harbor Insurance. Give them a call at 636-668-6296 and see how much money Dave and Holly can save you.
The very latest ag news from the Brownfield Network, brought to you this hour by the Wrecking Crew in Troy, Winfield, and Vandalia. Call 636-462-1727.
Soybeans and corn were higher Friday. Cattle and hogs finished mixed. I'm John Perkins with the Brownfield Market Update. When it comes to short stature corn, it all started with Stein. For decades, they've been focused on unique hybrids that deliver top yields. Stein invented short stature corn, then they perfected it. Stein has yield. Soybeans were solidly higher, monitoring harvest delays in the southeast and faster activity in parts of the region. Portions of Argentina and Brazil need rain as planting starts to get underway. November beans were up 24 3/4 at 1065 3/4. January was 23 3/4 higher at 1083. With some commercial support, October bean meal was up 19.50 at 343.70. October soybean oil was down 74 points at 42.18. Corn was watching harvest activity, including those delays in the southeastern corn belt and the drier weather in western growing areas. Extended soybean planting delays in Brazil would have an impact on their second corn crop. December was up 4 3/4 at 418, and March corn was 4 higher at 435. And wheat was lower. While U.S. wheat export sales have improved when compared to last marketing year, Russia still has the lowest global price. Soft red winter planting delays are likely, but hard red winter planting weather does look clear for the most part. December Chicago was 4 1/4 lower at 580. December Kansas City wheat was down 2 1/4 at 576 3/4. December Minneapolis wheat was 3 1/4 lower at 608 1/4. Live and feeder cattle were mixed, adjusting spreads with box beef mixed at midday, waiting to see how much direct business was left to be done. Megan Grebner has more on that in a moment. October live was down 35 at 183.75, and December was 35 lower at 184.47. October feeders were up 15 at 247.07. And hogs were mixed on these steady to lower cash during the session against the higher midday move in pork. October was up 2 cents at 82.05, and December lean was down 55 at 73.37. Megan Grebner has that full look at cash livestock after this brief break. Brownfield Market Updates bring you the story behind the numbers. Ag commodity trading might be volatile, but you can count on Brownfield to let you know not just what the prices are doing, but why the markets are making those moves. We bring you the breaking updates on what's driving the markets all session long, giving you the up-to-date info you need on what's impacting prices and how that affects your bottom line, whether that's today, tomorrow, or in the coming months. Stay tuned to your local Brownfield radio station for the new, now, and notable in the commodity markets.
Lower costs, improve efficiency, increase yields. That's how MFA's NutriTrack program can benefit your farm. NutriTrack Precision Technology helps manage soil nutrients acre by acre, providing the information you need to make data-driven decisions. Grid sampling, zone maps, and variable rate application can put more fertilizer where you need it and less where you don't. It's an investment that can make a big difference through more production and more profit. See your fields in a whole new way with NutriTrack, only from MFA, your whole farm solution.
Cash cattle trade was quiet Friday following light to moderate business that took place Thursday. For the week, live deals were marked at mostly $185, $2 higher than the previous week's weighted averages. Dress deals in the north were at mostly $294. That's up $4 from the prior week's weighted average basis in Nebraska. Boxed beef closed mixed with light to moderate demand for light offerings. Choice up 32 cents at $296.69. Select down 29 cents at $282.08. Estimated cattle slaughter was 116,000 head, up 8,000 on the week and up more than 20,000 on the year. Cash hogs closed sharply lower. Bears and gilts at the National Daily Direct down 307 with a weighted average of 75.11. The Western Corn Belt closed $2.76 lower with a weighted average of 75.42. Pork values ended the day higher, up $1.11 at 95.75. And estimated hog slaughter was 484,000 head, up 9,000 on the week and up about 10,000 on the year. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
The Lincoln County Farmers Market is open the first Saturday of March all the way through the first Saturday of November. Everything from goat's milk soap to homemade chocolate zucchini cake, jelly, apple butter, honey, live animals, and produce. Breakfast and lunch served by local food trucks. If you've got a green thumb, check out all the plant vendors. The Lincoln County Farmers Market on the Tractor Supply parking lot in Troy. Open until the first weekend in November. On the Tractor Supply parking lot every Saturday from 8 to 1.
Take advantage of Quiver River's electric co-op connections. Save on prescriptions, discounts at restaurants, hotels, shopping, and more. Register for a free Co-op Connections account. Download the app on your smartphone, and you're on your way to savings. For more on this program that gives you incredible discounts on everyday expenses, visit quiver.com. Click on Member Resources, then select Co-op Connections, or call 1-800-392-3709. A tip from Quiver River Electric Cooperative.
Time now for more automotive wisdom with Jerry Hankey from Alternative Automotive, which is located on Mansion Road. People don't check their oil like they should. I don't know if it's a generational thing or just people don't think about it anymore. Like, it can cause a lot of problems really fast.
This is not even a joke. About 8 out of 10 oil changes a day don't even have oil on the stick, or if it does, it's on the very, very bottom of the stick. It's definitely not in the safe range. We tell every person that comes in, especially with no oil on the stick, first of all, check it. And if you don't want to check it, stop by and we'll check it for free. One of the service writers will come out and be more than happy to check it for you. You don't even have to get dirty. And it's amazing how many people still don't check the oil, and it just destroys engines. There's tons of stuff inside your engine that uses the oil besides the regular mechanical lubrication part. All your variable valve timing, active fuel management for your lifters on your V8 Chevys and Dodges, stuff like that, all uses oil as a hydraulic fluid as well. And if there's none in there, it can cause a lot of check engine lights and other codes as well as mechanical damage to the engine.
Automotive wisdom for your life from Alternative Automotive and Jerry Hankey, located on Mansion Road. Why don't you stop by and see him today?
And a very pleasant good afternoon/evening, 18 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock. Currently 66 moist degrees outside the Gateway Fiber Studios. And Sarge and Tim are with me today. And gentlemen, it's not so bad in the immediate area up here. But if you go south or east, it is wet.
Yeah. Very wet. Very, very wet. And going to stay wet for a little while.
Yeah. So football games of our concern tonight. Winfield taking on Holt. And Troy takes on Howell Central.
That's right.
Those two games should be able to make it on the air. The storm system that's moving up here, the rain, I don't see any lightning in it.
Same.
And that's really kind of the only thing that would put the kibosh on the football for tonight.
Yeah.
So hopefully we won't have any problems there.
And, of course, Troy is on the road and Winfield's playing at home.
Yes. Helene is causing havoc, up to 40 fatalities now due to this storm, and most of them well inland from the Gulf. 2 firefighters evidently lost their lives today. A tree fell on the apparatus they were responding in.
Oh, my.
And just a pretty rough time down there right now, and we're not out of the woods yet. Lots of flooding, lots of water, still well over, I think they said 5 million without power.
Yeah.
That's pretty big mess.
Quite a few people.
Yes, it is. So the remnants here moving through east central Missouri just a little bit, just a tropical taste, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
All right, 66 degrees at 20 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock. Let's get a check of traffic, and Rick is standing by for that.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a heavy delay in place as you head in toward Lake St. Louis on westbound 64 from 364 around toward I-70. Beyond that, you're trouble-free on 61 in toward Troy. Now, keep in mind, in Troy, roadwork starts tomorrow at the 4761 bridge that's going to be demolished. And with this, Main Street in Troy will be one lane from Boone Street towards South Street. And there's going to be some resulting detours in effect from Cherry Street around toward South Lincoln. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Moderate rain in Troy, getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s, overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy it's 63. In Wentzville it's 63 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground, Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
That is Mizzou's bye week, or I guess the first of two.
Mm-hmm.
And so they will be off. They'll be on the road next weekend. Playing Texas A&M. That should be a win.
Yeah.
However, after last weekend, man.
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks.
That was supposed to be a win last weekend, wasn't it?
It was a win.
It was a win.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
They won, but it took them overtime to do it.
And with those 2 wins that they've had over the last couple of weeks, they've actually gone from number 6
all the way down to 11. Right.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is there's more top 10 matchups this week. So they could go up or they could go down. I wouldn't think that they would go down anymore.
Yeah.
You're 4-0. I really don't think you're going to go down anymore at that rate. I think the chances are there's a couple of teams ahead of them that are on upset watch.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll kind of see what happens. They may go up again without even playing. So
yeah,
who in the helicopter knows? But anyway, so we will have college football on for you tomorrow. We're going to take a game out of the old Big 8.
Yeah.
That'll
be fun.
Oklahoma State taking on Kansas State. Should be a pretty good football game. Fairly evenly matched teams. And that will come your way. Pre-game tomorrow morning at 10:30. They'll kick that puppy off at 11. Sarge, what's going on in the news?
So MSD trying to prepare for Helene's rain.
Helene? Who's Helene?
The tropical storm.
That'd be hurricane.
I think it's more of a hurricane.
No. It's been
Is it downgraded?
Cruise with
it's Helene.
Helene.
Oh, Lord.
It's all the same to me. It's rain. Crews with the Metropolitan Sewer District have been preparing for the heavy rain arriving with this tropical storm, and it was downgraded from a Category 4 hurricane that slammed into the Florida Panhandle to a tropical storm late last night. And MSD says its crews have been doing maintenance on drains across the metro, and they ask homeowners to clear their drain spouts to keep the water flowing, and if residents see debris gathering at the sewer openings, they're asked to clear it away. So there is that.
Which you should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Missouri. We get heavy rainfall here.
Mm-hmm.
And that does happen from time to time. Just reiterating what Rick said, if you're heading towards Troy on 47 from our neck of the woods over here, please pick an alternative route. Your alternative would be if you're going, westbound on 47 would be to exit at Cherry Street and take that around, and then you can cut back on Lincoln Drive and get on your way back on 47.
That's right.
I do believe the exit ramps, however, are open. So you just can't cross the highway. You can get off the highway, get on the highway, you just can't cross right there.
Yeah, earlier this afternoon anyway, at about noon or so when I was coming in, I had taken that exit ramp onto 47 from 61 going southbound. But then I had to go over to South Lincoln down to the road that goes by Cherry Street,
so
basically.
What time did you come through?
About noonish,
and
roughly.
Did they have any of the bridge down at that point?
No, not yet.
So
not yet.
What I understand, they're going to do that overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people were asking me, how are they going to do it? Are they going to use explosives? Are they going to use just heavy equipment? You have any insight on that?
No, I haven't heard. But my question is, so they've got their closing dates between today and Sunday night. Are they taking down this bridge and putting up a brand new one that quickly?
No.
Because it was like a lot of people have been asking me that, too.
It will be a Herculean effort to get the roadway cleared.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that will happen pretty soon. They've got a ton of stuff staged over there, bulldozers, inloaders, things like that, to pick up the debris and move it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, and I'm just guessing here, that's a pretty big bridge.
Yeah.
That overpass is a pretty good sized bridge. So, who knows?
But it's definitely needed it. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So which means northbound and southbound 61, you're going to have to, maneuver your way getting off and getting back on and stuff.
Yeah. So, and what they'll do is they'll just run people over the exit ramps while this is going on. That'll be your detour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But so evidently, what I'm understanding from the drawings and what I've been told, this is basically going to be identical, in essence, to the 70 crossover at Mid Rivers Mall Drive.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have, what do they call those? The reverse inverted?
Yeah. I don't know if I like that very much.
So, well.
But, hey, that's just me.
I mean, it's like I tell folks. I mean, I don't complain about gas prices because it's not like you're not going to buy gas anyway.
True.
But, no, it's going to be, we've got a few roundabouts in Lincoln County now. So, I mean, it's not going to be a hugely foreign concept.
Mm-hmm.
But what it did remind me of, and I was actually thoughts of this over lunch today. Briefly, I was in Japan. And in Japan, the traffic lanes, they do like England. So a car will run on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come onto the military bases, they go ahead and do it the American style where you're driving on the right side. So there's a crossover right next to the guard gate. You know how many accidents they had on crossover?
Man, probably a lot. A lot, and too many to count.
Yeah, I would be so bloody confused at that. I wouldn't, and I was there a brief time. I was basically everywhere I went, I was in a bus.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't, there wasn't much for me to interact with. But
it's definitely going to be something that people are going to have to get used to.
Well, and that's the thing. This is Lincoln County. And I'm just wondering how many. I mean, this thing going to be a demo derby the first couple of weeks? Or?
Lordy, I hope
barriers,
not.
It won't.
Do what?
If they have enough barriers.
Well, yeah, it's going to
we'll see.
It's going to be interesting, I can tell you that. So basically what they're doing is they're doing as much of the work ahead of time as they possibly can. And we swung by and had dinner over there late last night. It was close to 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because, they were out there feverishly trying to get stuff ready.
So have you heard how long it's actually going to take for them to get that new bridge up and everything like that?
No, I haven't heard any hard numbers, but I tell you what, I bet it goes up a heck of a lot quicker than you might think.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't take that long to build a four-span bridge like that. I mean, that's, I would say a matter of weeks, probably, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
But there are two seasons in the state of Missouri. That is winter and road construction. And sometimes they overlap.
Sometimes.
But, so, I mean, it is a much-needed project, taking nothing away from that. But at the same time, it's going to create some conundrum in the initial stage and in the construction stage. But it is what it is, right?
Road rage will definitely triple and quadruple, I think.
I don't think so. But I will tell you this. When I was going into Denny's last night, they had shut down the crossover by Denny's where you go across the Super 8.
Mm-hmm.
There was some guy in a pickup truck out there just MFing the construction workers something left and right. And I'm like, what in the heck is his problem?
Yeah, I mean, he's...
Oh, but no, he didn't like what was going on, I guess, and he just
But
decided...
the signs have been up for weeks, months.
Absolutely.
They've been up for weeks and months. There's no question. This is not an under-publicized deal. Nobody's going to be shocked, I would hope.
No.
30 minutes after the hour, 5 o'clock from the Gateway Fiber Studios. Let's get an updated check of traffic.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a heavy delay in place as you're heading toward Lake St. Louis on westbound 64 from 364 around toward I-70. Beyond that, you're trouble-free on 61 in toward Troy. Now, keep in mind, in Troy, roadwork starts tomorrow at the 4761 bridge that's going to be demolished. And with this, Main Street in Troy will be one lane from Boone Street towards South Street. And there's going to be some resulting detours in effect from Cherry Street around toward South Lincoln. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Overcast clouds in Troy. Getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s. Overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy it's 63. In Warrenton it's 60 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground. Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions. Online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
John Saucier, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster updating us on the status of Tropical Depression Helene and how it will impact the state, which is currently under emergency declaration.
I issued the executive order allowing the loosening of various regulations to allow all the counties and state assets and municipal to work together very quickly, as we always do.
Helene making landfall off the coast of Florida as a Category 4 hurricane last night. At least 30 people have died across the southeast because of the storm. Former President Trump in Walker, Michigan, where he went after Vice President Kamala Harris on the issue of illegal immigration.
Over 647,572 migrant criminals are in our country. It's a killing machine. It's a killing machine, and they're killing people all over our country.
The Vice President visiting the southern border today in Arizona. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, football fans, the season is finally here. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, former NFL player and now best-selling author and star in a new documentary film called The Retirement Deception. I want you to watch this film at no cost because I believe America needs to know the truth about retirement. Retirement doesn't have to be complicated. In football, the basics, blocking and tackling, are what wins games. In retirement, protection and income are the key to your success. You don't retire on your nest egg, you retire on the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to create more income and protect yourself from the chaos and unnecessary fees of Wall Street. Call today to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. You can also schedule a 10-minute call with one of our retirement experts. I think you'd agree 30 years of saving for retirement is probably worth a 10-minute call to make sure you're doing all you can to protect it. Call 833-359-6819. That's 833-359-6819. 833-359-6819. Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Mountain Dew Zero Sugar asks, ever wonder what it would be like to live in an alternate universe? One where everything seems to work just the opposite of the way you'd expect? Well, friends, welcome to the alternate universe of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. The taste is nothing less than outrageously delicious. And Mountain Dew Zero Sugar comes in awesomely exhilarating flavors, like Original Dew Zero Sugar, Mountain Dew Spark Zero Sugar, and Mountain Dew Major Melon Zero Sugar. Try the incredible flavors of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Zero Sugar, all dew.
Hey, welcome back. It is Newswatch Late Edition. We've got Sarge, Tim, and I'm Burgundy.
It's right.
Hey, Kenny Masterson just walked in.
Nice.
He's going to a football game tonight. Based on the way he's dressed, I think that's a fair assumption.
That could be. It could be.
The aftermath of the tropical storm / depression / whatever is impacting essentially all over the eastern United States, from heavy rain over in southern Illinois, some heavy rain in the Boot Hill of Missouri. We're not expecting things on that big of a scale up here in east central Missouri. We're really kind of on the northern fringe. of the after effects of the hurricane. But my Lord, you go down to the southeast, things are messed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And right now, I guess storm-wide or area-wide or region-wide, I guess is the right
Region-wide, yeah.
40 deaths so far, and that's estimated because,
Crazy.
They're not, obviously haven't been everywhere yet. They don't know.
Right.
But this is going to be on record as one of the, well, first of all, it was the first Category 4 to hit the Big Bend. And that is a very vulnerable area there. It's sparsely populated. And, so there's not a whole lot of towns right there. Obviously, to the north, about 40 miles, you have Tallahassee that's well off the water. And its elevation is at about 150 to 170 feet. So they're not really concerned about storm surge. But, I mean, that area of the Panhandle is nothing but pine tree after pine tree after pine tree. So, I mean, the power situation up there and the structural damage is going to be significant, and obviously not even to mention the heavy rainfall. But it looks like right now Georgia is having a lot of problems with this. South Carolina, Tennessee, northern Alabama are really seeing the lion's share of the big problems.
Yeah.
I think up here in the mid-Mississippi Valley, we're going to see a lot of heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds, but nothing on the scale of what they're experiencing. So we'll continue to update you on that and what you can do. Obviously, from here in Missouri, Task Force 1 was sent down early. They are, from what I understand off the Book of Faces, they're in Georgia. Also, again, I guess it was yesterday, going up 61, there was just a convoy that you wouldn't believe of utility trucks. I saw another convoy of ServPro trucks, all heading down south. So, I mean, this, I think by the time this is said and done, in terms of, the human and the economic impact, this is going to go down as one of the biggest storms that we've ever had.
It could very well. Yeah, for sure.
So
I know Tim was saying that you saw, Tim, in Atlanta area, they were actually using canoes to get around.
Well, it works.
So, whatever works.
Sarge, what's in the news?
Well, 3 men in separate cars were shot on I-70. 3 men are recovering from non-life-threatening injuries after being shot while traveling westbound on I-70 around midnight last night. The victims were all riding in separate vehicles between 141 and the Blanchett Bridge in Earth City when they were shot. That stretch of highway in Earth City was closed for about 3 hours overnight, and there's been no suspect information released.
It's kind of funny. That little stretch from 270 and 70 heading west, I guess, to about 5th Street in St. Charles. I was driving, and this has been many years, probably close to 20 years ago. I was driving that stretch in my vehicle, and I had my passenger window in my vehicle shot out. We never found the slug. I mean, I searched that. I tore it apart looking for it.
Wow.
But just based on the velocity and how it broke out the window, it was definitely a bullet. So I'll just thank my lucky stars that my noggin wasn't struck by that.
It's nuts.
So, that's funny because we were just having that conversation. We were talking about having to go to Earth City for something, and somebody made the comment, "Oh, that's bad area." I'm like, no, it's not. Earth City's not bad.
I don't know, Burgundy.
I guess just the times is a changing.
It is. It really is.
But anyway, so what else is going on this weekend, Sarge?
This weekend, the St. Louis Cardinals will finish off the 2024 season this weekend. The Cardinals are ending the year with a 3-game road series against the San Francisco Giants, and the first matchup is set for 9:15 tonight our time at Oracle Park there in San Francisco.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Cardinals season coming to an end, no playoffs, but the Royals
are
looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, they are tied for second spot right now in the wild card.
And there's 3 spots, right?
Yes, there's 3 spots. Right now it's Baltimore, and then Detroit and Kansas City are tied for those 2 and 3 spots, but then you've got the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, and the Seattle Mariners, who are only a couple of games back as well. And this weekend, for the final series of the year, the Royals will be taking on the Atlanta Braves, who on the National League side of things is also fighting for a wild card spot.
So basically, if they want to stay in the number 2 slot for the wild card, it's simple: win your games.
That's right.
But if there's no way they could not make the playoffs.
Oh yes.
Oh, there is.
Yes, because like I said, Minnesota and Seattle and even Boston is still in the mix. They're only about 2.5 games out. So if the Royals ended up losing all 3 of these games, which it's possible, because we just came out of a 7-game losing skid.
But if they're 2.5 up, that would mean that whoever was going to
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a heavy delay in place as you're heading toward Lake St. Louis on westbound 64 from 364 around toward I-70. Beyond that, you're trouble-free on 61 in toward Troy. Now, keep in mind, in Troy, roadwork starts tomorrow at the 4761 bridge that's going to be demolished. And with this, Main Street in Troy will be 1 lane from Boone Street towards South Street. And there's going to be some resulting detours in effect from Cherry Street around toward South Lincoln. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Overcast clouds in Troy. Getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s. Overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy, it's 63. In Warrenton, it's 60 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate, or farm ground? Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
When you've got a plumbing emergency in Pike, Lincoln, St. Charles, or Warren County, call Frank the Plumber. 25 years experience, licensed and insured, and emergency response available. Call 636-236-2190.
Hi, this is Frank the Plumber. For all your plumbing needs, give me a call.
Call Frank the Plumber.
636-236-2190.
Howdy ho, neighbor. It is Sarge, Tim, and Burgundy with you on Newswatch Late Edition. Broadcasting live from the Gateway Fiber studios, gatewayfiber.com. If you want to speed up your internet, lower your bill, it is a good place to go.
Absolutely, it is.
So, anyway, as we enter this, what is it? No, they call the first week of college football week 0.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be week 5 of college football.
Yeah.
We haven't had, and with Florida State losing, we now know that was not an upset. Okay, they're really bad. Okay. We haven't had, other than Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois, we haven't had one, what I would call upset in the top 10 yet. That is rare.
Yeah.
That almost never happens. We're 5 weeks, actually, well, if you think about it, we'll be 6 weeks into the college football season, and still no top 10 team ranked at the time has lost.
Yeah, that's true.
So, is this going to be the weekend?
It could very well be. I mean, there's, like you were saying before, there's some of these teams that are on upset alert right now.
Well, I mean, that is a thing. And, a good friend of mine, close friend of mine, she has started betting on football. Now,
really,
my counsel is I advise against this. But because with college football, even pro football, you just don't know. Now, I've picked out a couple of games that I think could very well end up being upsets. The first one I'm going to give you is the game tonight. Okay, Virginia Tech at Miami.
Ooh.
Virginia Tech is a dangerous team. Miami, in my opinion, has been playing above their heads the entire time, and so has Mizzou. Well, Mizzou's been playing below their heads.
Yeah.
Let me digress. Okay. That is one, and Miami is favored by 17.5 points. But I see that as potentially an issue.
Well, I know in the past, whenever they've played each other, most often than not, those games are extremely competitive. And Virginia Tech, they've got a chance.
Is that at Virginia or Miami?
It's at Miami, but in that one's they should be all right weather-wise. Everything will be well out of there by then.
Yeah.
Another one that Ohio State travels to Michigan State.
Ooh.
Michigan State's a pretty good football team. They're 3-1 at this point. Now, OSU on the road is favored by 23.5.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not going to come out and say that Michigan State is going to pull the upset, but I would definitely take the under on that one.
You should, yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't see that happening. And, of course, the one, and it really, my opinion would be no matter win, lose, draw on this particular game, I don't know that either way it would be an upset. But obviously the big game of the week and the one everybody's going to be watching is going to be number 2 Georgia at number 4 Alabama. That could go either way. And my personal, the game is Georgia by a point, which basically whoever the home team is, and I don't bet on sports, but I know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just by being home, you get 3 points.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, so on a neutral field, this would be Georgia by 4, but because it's in Alabama, and it's pretty much real. I mean, it's pretty much just a push.
And with it just a point favorite, you can really say that that's a pick'em game.
It is.
Honestly.
It is. So yeah, that is, and the Vegas is calling that one even. Here's another one, and I will be pulling for the team in this game that I think could pull the upset.
Okay.
And that is number 19 Illinois at 4-0 on the road to take on number 9 Penn State, who's 3-0. That one is a Saturday night game. It's going to be nationally televised on NBC. And I can't remember the last time Illinois has been nationally televised on NBC.
Yeah.
That's a big honking deal.
It is.
But here's the thing. Even though Penn State at home is favored by almost 20 points, the betting line on that thing is going Illinois plus 600.
Really?
Yeah. So evidently there's some folks out there that are kind of looking at this game and thinking, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But if Illinois were to pull that upset, and it would be a legitimate upset.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think Penn State is all that great. But this will be the first true test that they've had on the season. I mean, they've been playing. Let's see, they played Sisters of the Poor in week 1. They played Hoover, Alabama, Walmart third shift in week 2.
And those third shift guys, they were pretty tired.
Yeah, and some high school out of Tennessee in week 3, pretty sure. But no, it could be a very interesting week in college football. And I think, other than the 2 aforementioned games I talked about, I think you may see your first legit upsets this weekend.
You could very well. Before we went to break the last 10 minutes ago or so, on the baseball side of things, so you've got the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Astros that have clinched their division. But in the wild card race, you've got the Orioles of Baltimore. They're 3 games up right now. But then you've got Detroit and Kansas City, both tied at 85 and 74, and then Minnesota and Seattle are exactly 3 games back.
But if Kansas City and Detroit finish tied, it's Kansas City.
Kansas City
because they've got the head-to-head.
Exactly. But I mean, again, you've got to win. You've got to win your games. And if KC and Detroit were to lose all 3 of these games, then and Minnesota and Seattle wins all those games, then they jump in.
Anything can happen, Sarge.
Yeah.
But legitimately, if Kansas City wins 1 or 2 games tonight, Saturday and Sunday, they're in.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
They should be, yeah.
So, and then on the National League side of things, the LA Dodgers, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Milwaukee Brewers have all clinched their division. And on the wild card side of things, the Padres from San Diego, they're 3 games up. And then New York Mets and Arizona are basically both tied. The Mets are 87 and 70. The Diamondbacks are 88 and 71. So the Mets are up by .001 in the statistics on the percentage, but then Atlanta is only one game behind both the Mets and the Diamondbacks. So, and again, the Braves are facing the Royals this weekend. So it's all kinds of different crazy things that can happen.
So, and I'll be the first to admit, I've become basically disenchanted with baseball over the past 2 years or so. And there's other extraneous reasons for that away from the game. But the healthiest thing for baseball right now is to have these playoff spots come down to the last weekend.
Yeah.
Because that'll pique interest. You know, the playoffs, obviously, in the World Series will pique interest. So that is a good thing for America's favorite pastime.
Absolutely.
So, coming up on 50 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock, you're on Newswatch Late Edition, broadcasting live from the Gateway Fiber Studios. Right now, 66 degrees and some mist in the air, and that's about it. High school football comes up at 6:45.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a heavy delay in place as you're heading toward Lake St. Louis on westbound 64 from 364 around toward I-70. Beyond that, you're trouble-free on 61 in toward Troy. Now, keep in mind, in Troy, roadwork starts tomorrow at the 4761 bridge that's going to be demolished. And with this, Main Street in Troy will be one lane from Boone Street towards South Street. And there's going to be some resulting detours in effect from Cherry Street around toward South Lincoln. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Overcast clouds in Troy. Getting down to 60 overnight tonight. Saturday's high will be in the upper 70s. Overcast clouds likely. Temperatures in the upper 70s forecast on Sunday. Currently in Troy, it's 63. In Warrenton, it's 60 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate, or farm ground? Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
Call Sandy Turner at 107B North Lincoln Drive in Troy, 636-528-8443.
51 minutes after the hour, 5 o'clock. You're on Newswatch Late Edition. Sarge, how will you personally celebrate if the Royals clinch? Either could happen Saturday or could happen Sunday. How will you personally celebrate?
Get barbecue and open up a nice bottle of sparkling apple cider.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just getting in.
No, yeah. Yeah, no. But there's a ton of teams that would just love to just simply get in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what the way the Royals team is put together, how do you think they could fare in a 5-game or 7-game series?
Okay, so starting off with the wild card, it'll be a 3-game series.
Yeah.
Okay. That I think, depending on who they end up playing, right now, if it were to end like it is right now, they would be playing Baltimore, and I think they've got a very fair chance against Baltimore in a 3-game set.
Okay.
And then whoever wins that, they would face the Yankees. The Yankees are a tall order this year, so that's going to be very tough to get through.
Okay.
Very, 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 very tough to get
through.
Very,
very, very tough?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so you make it sound like any of the wild cards, they don't have a chance.
Well, no, because...
Well, they generally don't.
Then on the other side, if things were to stay like it is on the American League side, the Tigers and the Astros would play, and I think that's a pick'em series, honestly. And then from there, they would go and play in the division series against the Cleveland Guardians. And they've been up and down all year this year. And so that's another... They've got a chance against the Guardians.
Yeah, I hate these new mascot names.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I really do.
When you said Guardians, I was like...
So what I do when I'm... And it's just rare, but if I'm giving sports scores that involve any of these teams, I just still say the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
I still say the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to Hail to the Redskins? Whatever happened to that?
I think they just changed the name of Redskins to Commanders in that.
Hail to the Commanders. that has no chutzpah. It doesn't have a beat, and the kids can't dance to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, I don't know.
Yeah. Now on the National League side of stuff, if things were to be over with right now, you would have the Arizona Diamondbacks sitting in the number 6 spot, facing off against the Milwaukee Brewers, and I think that's going to be a very close series as well. And then the Mets, they would go out and take on the San Diego Padres, and again, that's a pretty close series. Now, the winner between the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, they would take on the Phillies, who are in the number 2 spot, and the winner of that Mets-Padres would take on the Dodgers. I can see the Dodgers actually going all the way to the World Series on the National League side of stuff very easily.
Well, I've learned not to argue with you on your sports prognostications because you whip my butt. Anyway, so back on the topic that I was haranguing on earlier, the whole mascot thing, the funny stories, and the misinformation that goes out, okay? So let's clarify a few things. Years ago, they took away the chief from the Fighting Illini, and there was a push to change the mascot name because it was discriminatory towards a tribe. Well, there is no Illini tribe.
Oh.
It is an Illini nation, which consists of many tribes, basically in Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, those areas up there. Okay, so it stayed. The other one that was, in my opinion, it was hilarious, okay, is I guess the target du jour was Florida State. They were going to make them change from the Seminoles. Okay. Well, guess who kept that from happening? The Seminole tribe.
Oh.
Because the Seminoles get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just for that naming rights. And they're like, we're okay with it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I think if it's done respectfully, I mean, I think also, you know, I know some Native Americans. I know some Native Americans that are in some pretty influential positions, okay? Nobody really had a big problem with this.
Yeah.
I mean, were some of the illustrations in years past of you know, the Redskins or the Indians or the whatever, were some of those kind of out of character? Were some of those kind of rude? Yeah, they were. But that can be fixed.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, that was really kind of funny. There was a big push to change the Seminoles to something else, and the Seminole tribe, which is still in Florida, was like, no, not so fast. We like that check we get every year.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't blame them.
No, not at all. And I also know that there are several different Indian tribes that have gotten together and are suing the NFL to get the Washington Commanders switched back to the Redskins, because again, they had no issue with it whatsoever.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, much like the situation in Tallahassee with Florida State, it comes down to money. And they're like, you know, I see their point. You know, I'm kind of semi-watching this story down at the Lake of the Ozarks. The Osage tribe is wanting to build a casino down there. And I'm just going to be dead honest with you. I was a part-time resident of the Lake of the Ozarks for many years. I was a full-time resident down there. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I just honestly do not have a problem with it. I think, you know, the additional jobs I don't think can hurt. The biggest problem they have at the lake is there's nowhere to live.
Yeah.
They've got to start building, you know, multi-family residential and stuff like that. But anyway, cutting to the chase, I have confronted a lot of people about this. Is, oh, no, they shouldn't be allowed to come in here and build it. I'm like, now, wait a minute. Not 150, 200, maybe 250 years ago, you're in their backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. That was my thinking on it. Now, the proposition that's up for vote statewide, so Bally's is partnered with the Osage tribe. Somebody else is partnered with the folks that are wanting to put in the normal licensed casino, because the thing of it is, with the Indian casinos, they don't need license. They can pretty much do what they want with the governor's signature. Here's how I think this is going to play out. So there's weekends at the Lake of the Ozarks, they have close to 1 million visitors.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
I honestly think that place down there can support two casinos.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think you're right on that.
So we shall see. Coming up tonight, we've got high school football, another doubleheader on the air for you. First at 6:45, it'll be Kyle Skabinski and KYRO Sports Director Steve Runge. They will join us from House Central, where Troy will be taking their 4-0 record on the road.
Yep.
Try to keep that intact. And then immediately following that game, we'll switch back over to Winfield, where the Winfield Warriors take on Holt. And that one will take the air around 8:30 or 9:30.
What's the name of the Holt team?
Indians.
Is it Holt Indians?
Yeah.
Okay,
Indians and the Warriors.
So last week it was the Warriors versus the Warriors, and this week it's the Warriors versus the Indians.
66 degrees at straight up 6 o'clock in East Central Missouri. That's Newswatch Late Edition.
Live from the Gateway Fiber Studios, online at gatewayfiber.com. News Radio 105.3, 1280 KYRO Troy. It's 6 o'clock in the Heartland.